Now is not the time for that. Now is not the time for that. Not now.
How the fuck?
My balls!
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Fuck no, I'm doing awesome fights.
But wait! There's still people down there.
You wonder briefly about the prospects of an undeath lived beneath the sea, the darkness, the terrors. You clench your eyes and brace for impact.
I have plans for you, child. Why?
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course. Brachus Rex. I've read his history. Quite gruesome, even for a human.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird.
No shit.
Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home.
Or maybe they're dead.
But you didn't die. Guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean.
Man,
You'll
I can't
see.
stand their voices.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore.
Well done, how can I look at them? Oh my god.
The squirrel looks at you in shock. Are you sure you want to chase them away? The squirrel turns his nose up at you and turns away. But his cat seems more than happy to tag along, dragging its owner with it. You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
You're glad, are you? How very curious. For word has reached me through a very sour grapevine indeed, that you turned your back on your fellow passengers, left us to fend for ourselves. So much easier, isn't it, to look out for oneself alone? Of course I did. Takes more than some oversized cuttlefish to get the better of me. Besides, you'll find I wasn't complaining, I was making a point. About oneself. Alone. So, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me. What do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. Even if it comes from the very person that left me and others to rot on a sinking ship. You do look able, though. Despite your selfish tendencies. Tendencies to which I'm no stranger, truth be told. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. Oh my word, how you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord.
No.
As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
Let's try you. See how good you are. So they still alive? God damn.
Meet your maker.
Fuck yeah.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them. Yes. Is it an audience you desire?
Drowned and eaten by a void woken. I wonder in which order.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you...
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never. Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? Sure wish you'd gone back to save the others. Though, I did see one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago, so I guess some of them survived at least.
We already did the gone.
Magister, now speak.
Man, I really hate the camera. Oh. It can't be like third person or some shit. Fucking best camera. Falcava.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always. If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would... The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Listen. The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
on.
Saw 'em, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. Peace is more than she deserves. She were a traitor to the core. Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did. When you give up the darkness that's inside you, take your fault, it's there, mind. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again. So in the time of Lucian, of course, who wouldn't join up with God himself? It was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through.
Hmm.
Can't for certain, but I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm.
Man, they speak so much in this game. It's annoying.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. That, Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas. How do you not know this? What, have you been living under a boulder? Alexander's the Divine's only natural son. Good man. I'm proud to serve him. Liberated my hometown from the Black Ring, he did. We never had such peace as we did with his battalion protecting us. Now why don't you move along and settle in? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. They were just there, Just there but a moment ago. Come on,
I told him at noon exactly.
Mummy's right here.
Fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cooker, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers, killed by a void woken she was. Been dead and buried for a month now. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
I told him at noon exactly.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. She was here. I only turned away for a moment. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her, my little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. You are an angel. Truly you are.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue chest of this round.
Irma, where are you, darling?
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of Migo. Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a Migo. Otherwise, don't waste my time.
God.
Right hand, fine picture. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine lands, yet I feel his absence deep in my heart all the same. There's no rest for the wicked. There's plenty of rest for Lucian, my friend. So we ought to beg all the harder for his return.
Don't know the game's Topsy you can fold.
No, no. Just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl. Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands up. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quiet the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. Blaming a bloke you just met for your misfortune, are ya? Ease off, or I'll go ahead and double what you owe. With pleasure.
I'll yield to none.
Fuck. Where do you? Oh my god.
I told him at noon exactly.
Your supper. You divine.
There's a fucking rug in there.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Healer.
Where are you, dude? Oh my god. This is fucking annoying, man, the controllers. Fuck. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god. Better play dead.
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
I need aid.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
She's gone, Father. Gone.
Where is he?
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
Farah.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Glory is mine.
Our Father,
I told him at
who
noon
presideth
exactly.
over us.
Didn't I? I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I? changed a bit. Always.
Healing.
Where is he?
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, a traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. The divine order's all that stands between everything you see, believe it or don't. The divine order doesn't need...
Come on, I feel I can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and you hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya?
Known her all my life. Her little girl Irma, too. Farah was a straight-shooting woman in those days, but now she's madder than a cuckoo into ISIS loud. What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after has been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a void woken back in our home village. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Please, please, you must help me. Oh, bless you, bless you. She's been missing for days now, and not a single soul will help me look for her. Irma's her name. She's about as high as your hip. Black of hair, a quiet child, not prone to wandering off. I'm sick with worry, completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too. It's so unlike her. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's...
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. This place turns people cold, cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? You are an angel. Truly you are.
I don't
Mummy's
think
right
I
here.
ain't watching.
Where are
That's
ya?
your fifth
I told him
blue
at noon.
Farah. She ain't
No.
coming back.
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of Migo. Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a...
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called... You may feel like an inmate here, but you and your captors are the same stuff, in race and customs, if not heart. You'll see what a difference that can make. Our Father, who presideth over us all.
What of it? Looky here, mates. A fresh face. Why don't you join us in a round? Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Well, that was easy. Looks like you'll have to pay your interment fee after all, Freshie. I'm sure the Reds told ya. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. To be sure, Chief. Pay up and you get to keep your eyes. Sounds pretty satisfying, don't it?
I don't have eyes.
We'll see about that, Freshie.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
She's gone,
Why is he sitting down? God damn, fucking hate this shit.
I need aid!
I'll yield to none.
Guys, that's some bullshit. Uy, chiva sopra.
I always get scared. Oh, I don't mean. I want to give you a kiss. See, I don't show it.
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
She's gone, Farah. Gone.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Necesito una bolsita. Necesito una bolsita porque
Pipe
no
down,
me llevo
Farah.
un juego de
It's time to accept reality.
como lo veamos. Una bolsa de
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
You have some
No, yo no es una caja grande. Es algo chiquito. Una casita y un vehículo. Muy grande. I need something for a game. Like this.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
I'm not going over there because
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad.
That's it.
Sweetheart.
I call court. Pay up.
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality. Our Father, who
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Quiet! Better if they don't take notice. They'll only make it tighter. It won't budge. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy.
She breathes deeply into the pouch and begins to calm.
Thank you.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
It's too tight.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts and doesn't look up as you approach.
What? Oh, new, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself at home. My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? Naturally. How could one not? We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this.
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? You're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. That's so. Huh, you look just like them. But then again, I never...
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. God, the smell, though.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours.
Goodness, but this place has made you cranky. Perk
Oh,
up, old
10
chap.
bottles of
There's plenty of
mead.
singletons about.
1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears. Oh,
Logically, she's much better off.
think the hinge is rust. Leave it, Sam. I won't say it again.
Come on, chap. Don't be unreasonable. Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? You should be happy for Greed.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Snake.
Now, let's not get nasty. Greed's better off, I'm sure.
Keep my name out of your mouth, pal.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead.
Gods. The smell. Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's my first time playing. Well, technically, no. I already have this game for PC, but I only played it like twice. And honestly, it's
Say it
like
again.
a different.
What you said about my
like,
wife.
when
Go
I
on.
first started and I finished the boat thing. I never went through here, or I don't remember going here. I don't know if it's because I use a different character. Honestly, I'm so lost. I don't know what the fuck I have to go.
Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if
Well,
it was
horror
messy?
wise,
I'd rather puke
not
myself to
that
death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me.
the
If she were
graphics
my wife,
are rough, you know.
I'd be happy for her.
It's not that bad, you know.
A flat
playable.
smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you.
Oh, damn.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her
Well,
soul.
honestly, if you don't mind the graphics and you want to play on the go, buy it for Switch. But right now, there's a sale on PC, so it's way cheaper. And the controllers are like way smooth. Because right now, the camera on the Switch freaking bothers me. Like, it's really ugly. Like the camera. But besides that, I like it. Do you have a Switch? Yeah, the camera angle sucks.
Only a coward will let someone talk about their soulmate like that. Well, maybe it is murder. Maybe not all killing's as bad as arrest, though.
He nods at you and turns back to his
I'll buy it
handiwork.
for the Switch then.
He lines up another nail and hammers it into the panel.
Reminder, you know, it costs more for the Switch. It costs $50. Because right now for PC on Steam it's like $20 or $23. It's on sale. Honestly,
I'll be with you
nothing
soon,
can
love.
be like playing on the go. So, man, honestly, buy this instead of Diablo because I have Diablo. I have for PC, PS4, Switch. Honestly, this game's better than Diablo or
I'll be with you
by
soon, love.
Torchlight 2. It's better than Diablo. It's the same genre. It's like a dungeon crawler and it costs $20. So if you want like an action RPG, don't think about it. Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, like I was saying, like if you want to play like a action RPG, like a dungeon crawler, buy Torchlight 2. It's better than Diablo.
I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red.
That I got Diablo for PC, PS4, and Switch, and honestly, it's fun. But Torchlight 2 is better, and it's way cheaper. And frankly, Divinity is a better game overall.
Them that pay the bills, of course. I'll be a rich man when you're 6 feet under.
So imagine playing Torchlight on the go. So you have more hours.
Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
Yeah, man. Like Torchlight for the Switch is perfect.
I'm fading.
Yeah, like right now, I haven't played Torchlight for the Switch, but I've seen it and it looks awesome on the Switch because I got it for PC and for me it's better than Diablo. Honestly, I haven't played for Switch yet, but if you have to choose between Torchlight 2 and Diablo for the Switch, oh shoot, Torchlight is cheaper and I don't know, it's a better game overall. So, my God. Oh,
Reveal yourself.
couldn't even see the guy. Just flee. Well, Divinity has co-op multiplayer, so Man, I suck at this game, honestly. My God.
I need aid.
God damn. Hey sucks in the game. Shit. Like I have died like 10 times. I have died more than playing Dark Souls for this first time. Well, I have Dark Souls, Dragon Quest Builders 2. But right now, when I'm playing on the Switch, it's this and Bloodstained. But want to play Dragon Quest Builders, but I don't have no one to play with.
That's it. I call court. Pay
But
up.
I'm like right now, the games I'm playing is Dragon Force, the Sega Saturn, and for Switch, Bloodstained, and and this. But I'll say like after I finish, I'll say Dragon Force on the Sega Saturn. I'll probably yeah have Mario Kart.
Don't you think? You should be happy for Greed.
What did you say?
Please, excuse us.
You're talking
I have
to
like
me,
every
not him,
Nintendo first party game.
Oh, for the love of Lucian Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy?
What game do
I'd
you
rather
have
puke
for the
myself to
Switch?
death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladier's lips.
She never did like you.
Kill him.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul. The love of my life, Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the stomach. Doctor couldn't help her.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side panel.
Have you played Dark Souls?
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank
The
is
Dark Souls for the Switch
chastise
is
me for using warped wood on her final
perfect, man.
bed. Then she laughed.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail, and hammers it into the panel.
Man, I have Fire Emblem, but I haven't played yet. I just like I'm playing Fire Emblem Fate for the 3DS. And like actually some most of the time I'm streaming that game. I'm about to finish it. So after I finish the Birthright Path, I'm gonna start playing the Switch one. Which I really wanna play because I started Fire Emblem Fates
Bastard.
before I bought the new one. So I just wanna finish the one for the 3DS.
warned you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Them that pay the bills, of course. I'll be a rich man when you're 6 feet under. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
God.
I'm fading.
Well, I don't have any backstab. Well, you feel bad for playing on the street? Man, I got Monster Hunter World. I haven't played the Switch one. The thing is, like, once you play like Monster Hunter World, well, for me, you don't want to go back, to the old ones. So even I'm not a hardcore Monster Hunter, fan, so I don't know that much about Monster Hunter. I know everyone preferred the old ones, but for me, like once I played the Monster Hunter World, like I wasn't interested at all to buy the one for the Switch. Mother target. Yeah, I feel you. God damn, they kill me again? I think I will skip that guy. But yeah, I feel you, man. Like, I'm always working, so I barely play. But now because they changed my shift for the afternoon, so I feel like once I get out of work, I have time to play. So I would say like Switch is a better choice than a PC, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, like, PC, if they, if I can choose, like, what can I, like, what console should I choose to play, like in my living room or something, so I would choose the PC, obviously. But overall, like, for me, the Switch is my favorite console, so I think you did a wise decision.
By the Queen's beard, it looks like you lost a fight with a claw hammer. Reckon you're in need of something to heal yourself up, eh? School of Hard Knocks, University of Life. academia, this and that. I have the talent for it, and whenever I found someone with skill, I asked them to teach me.
Instead of a potion, she hands you an empty bottle and a fat brown mushroom.
I knew I saw some talent in you. Go ahead and combine the mushroom with the vial. Once you've mastered the technique, you'll never need help from a crusty old quack like me again.
Yeah, like the thing honestly. Mm-hmm.
Business savvy. Don't be
Yeah,
profane.
but Switch,
People
like I was
expect
saying,
to be
like
talking about.
I don't
And
know,
I'll
for
get
me,
by
Switch
just
is
fine
like
in the meantime
for
if being
now
as stubborn
is
as
the
he
best
looks to be.
console of all
Says
time
he don't believe in
because
alchemy and
I'm
won't
not
accept
a
a
like a
potion from me or
graphic
anyone
guy,
else. But
so
Jackanape would rather die
once
than drink
it's
something that ain't at
playable,
least 30
it's
proof.
fine with me. So now that
Still,
we'll
man
be able
can't
to
aim
play
to
The
judge
Witcher
but to
3 on
heal.
the
But
Switch
if that
next
fails,
month,
to comfort. Seems that's all I
and
can do for
a
old
bunch of
Billy
awesome
anymore.
games, it's like that's mind blowing, you know. So I got Splatoon 2, and I really like that game. I hadn't played like
A little reprieve from the
since
din outside.
January, I think.
You're cheating! You're too slow!
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones. An elf lives forever. If she stays away from spears and fire,
Yeah.
she has no need for slimy, sticky, small ones.
So have you played this game on PC or at all?
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you
And
approach.
yeah,
She
Overwatch.
smiles as though she recognizes you,
It came out
though
the
she
it
couldn't
come
have
out the
seen your
same day
face.
that Witcher 3, October 15th. So I'm gonna grab both.
Hello,
And I have
stranger.
Overwatch
A
for everything
strange
like
person from a
PS4,
strange
Xbox
time.
One,
I
PC,
wonder,
and
do
I'm
you
gonna buy it
even know
for
how lost you
for
are?
Switch too.
I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. You do, someday. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He, my protector, my friend.
Honest,
An
this is
elf
a
like me,
good
with a
game.
spirit
It's
bright
just
as
me
new
that I
leaves.
suck.
He tries to help me, to save me.
Because I
But
played
he
this game
suffers
like
very much.
last year on PC. I used to play with my brother, but honestly, I don't remember not
He is
even going
caught by
here.
those who hurt him. I
I don't know
wish
if it
so much for
changed, it
his
depends on the
return.
character or anything.
And he tells you what
Then I
is
choose the dead guy,
a way out.
and man, like if you use potion or poison you, it's like I play on very hard. I didn't even notice.
You bring me great peace. Thank you, my friend. I miss him very much. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him. Yes, please ask. Oh,
So in
I
what
do
game
not
are
cover
you
my
into?
eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken. But I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very sorry for him. You understand when you meet him after you escape. My home is far.
Your language gives me some trouble. We elves... Time, for us, is now. There is not then and when. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us. I knew we must be here. I am not sure how much to explain. You are here, and so we are here.
Got you! I got you!
I know they help.
Wait! I call a timeout! A human? You stink.
The child looks around, then back at you. She makes an obscene gesture and continues with her game.
Yeah, I feel you. Like back in the day when I was in high school, I used to play a lot of multiplayers. But now I just prefer single players. Like I don't know. Maybe because I don't have that many like online friends like I used to when I was in high school. That's why I don't play that much online. The time that I play online is like it's when my brother is online, you know. We play like Diablo, not Diablo, excuse me, Dark Souls and shit.
I had it to you! You're dead!
You see like how awkward is the camera? I don't know, that shit like bothers me.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll, or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into one of your neck's vertebrae.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, I'll let my needle do the licking. I see. It does so satisfy to have a purpose in life.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her, the needle still all too deeply embedded in bone. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, this living scar, into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him.
No! She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
How
So,
amusing.
are you
I admit I
going
had
to
not seen
buy
that twist
The
coming.
Witcher 3?
I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided deers around here would argue such a thing is impossible. I'm inclined to agree. You managed to catch me off guard, after all. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull?
If you have never played
Agony of
The Witcher
choice.
3, man, you should
You
buy
know
it
what?
once you get
Today is a rather
released for the
fine
Switch.
day. Sunshine and an
Awesome
easy
game.
breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Of course you are. Or do you mean to tell me memory is so fleeting within the hollows of that windswept head of yours that you don't recall me running my dainty tongue along your arm? This may strike you as, rather eccentric, but the thought of traveling with one such as yourself quite enthuses me.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mockingly. You can't help but contemplate with both dread and delight the absolute darkness at the heart of her cat's eyes.
Yes, this will be jolly good fun. Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment.
Let me see. That guy can kill me now. I don't think I'm ready now. I have 3 people now. So. Who was there? Where's my profile? What is that quest? What's that? Keep the boss happy. As you can see, oh no, what do I have to do? How's it go? Let's see that. Okay. There's something minor healing potion. There's nothing here. Campfires. It sucks.
So, this is Fort Joy.
A delivery.
What a crumbling disaster.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? Nothing I can tell you can't find out by slipping down that hatch. If you've got the spit in you, that is.
Leave him be. Don't make me say it again.
Listen, I can help you if you just...
Shut up, elf. This clown, I caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Sound like someone you'd let off with a slap on the wrist. Caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Went down like a rent boy when we grabbed him. Easy. Supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal.
Okay, so his shed is over here.
Rubbish. Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince bars you with an outstretched arm.
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while I speak. Permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention. which he does in a grovelling and awkward manner. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Drudenay leaves before slipping into a trance-like state. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. After about half an hour, they wake up and begin to discuss what they saw in their dreams. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tailed fellow may be a less than stellar specimen in the firmament of dreamers, the dreams themselves prove to be quite elucidating. Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadows. The dreamers, though, they're on my side, and they've visions of me on the throne. Of course it is. I was born with the promise of an empire, and that promise will be kept. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer, a greater one. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So,
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Drudenay.
oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again.
You already know the terms. Nothing else to say. Sure, have a look.
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Give it down, will you?
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you from the bottom of the cage. He holds his shoulder at a strange angle. Despite his condition, he appears eager for your attention.
You believe what he says? That I am a thief?
He perks up and wipes his face with his good hand.
Sahela, you speak to her? She is all right then. Good. Huh. She sees my trouble, of course. She already knows. And she knows I help you out of here in exchange. I am grateful. Your freedom for mine. A good deal. I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does? Like so. For some time, I think Griff takes his own supplies. But I see the anger in him that he does not find it. He truly does not find what he seeks. Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious, in case you haven't noticed. I intend no harm. I want only some provisions. A bit of bread, a potato or two. Nothing Griff should be loath to give. I need to escape, and you understand. Thank you.
Okay, so
That
Ooh.
you wanted.
bread or some.
Keep it down, will ya?
Should we kill the motherfucker? Yeah, I think so. Oh my god. He crashed. Oh my god. What the fuck? Man, I hope he's safe. Oh my god. That fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. My god. I hope I save it before they all die.
So, this is Fort Joy.
What a crumbling disaster.
Scram! Snake face. Leave him be. Don't make me say it again.
Listen, I can help you.
Shut up, elf. This clown caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still once caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate of supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk. Listen up. Back off.
Not like this. There's too many of them.
I got that special shipment he was asking after.
Then it looks like you ain't.
Yeah, oh my god, how many people they have? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God damn. I'm gonna die.
So void workers are attracted to source. But why? When another divine arises, will source change?
need aid.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the controllers are horrible. What the fuck are they gonna fucking choose? Finally.
I sense something
Come on.
nearby.
You're gonna die. Okay, man. Think I'm gonna eat something, and I'm gonna stream probably another game. So if you want, you can follow me. That will help me. So thanks for watching the stream, man.